Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award-winning singer, songwriter and entertainer Robbie Williams.
So, an incredible thing happened.
Yes.
Very incredible. Almost beyond words. We got to interview Robbie Williams himself. Yes.
It happened.
Finally, how many episodes in? 35 episodes or something?
Yeah.
40 episodes if you include all the specials.
Yeah.
87 hours of recording, as we tell Rob. We finally got to speak to the man himself.
Yeah.
Incredible.
What an incredible interview. I mean, unbelievable. Just, we've known Rob for such a long time and we've had interactions with him on chat and a couple of Instagram calls, but it's not quite the same, is it?
No.
This was a very open and candid Rob.
Yeah.
And we really hope you enjoy it. We put a lot of effort into preparing for it, as you will see in the episode itself. And, as you will hear and see.
Yeah. So if you're new to our podcast, welcome.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you join us. Perhaps you might consider checking out some of our previous episodes where we have special guest fans. They talk about their Robbie memories and what their favourite songs and lyrics are. And we talk about a different album or group of songs in each episode. We've had loads of special guests on as well.
Yeah.
That have worked with Rob. So, check us out and you might learn some things that you didn't know about Rob and his music.
Yeah, it's a really good way. Obviously, we're biased, but it's a really good way of understanding the backstory and the collaborators and the wonderful creative people that Rob has collaborated with over the years. It's really, really interesting to find out how some of these songs came about and some of the things that happened in those collaborations. So, yeah, please do go and take a listen to those other episodes as well.
Yeah. And if you're a long-term listener, thank you so much for your support. Obviously, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be interviewing Rob without the support of the listeners.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening and getting our numbers up and supporting us on social media. Yeah. And to those of you that we've seen out and about in 2022 on the tour as well. It's been lovely to hear your feedback and yeah, thank you for all the kind words that you've all said about the podcast. It's really, really means a lot to us.
Yeah. And please do leave us a star rating or give us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Please. That does help.
Begging, as Ida says on her podcast.
It doesn't take very long. Literally, you just have to click in, put the stars in. Few words would be helpful as well. It's always good to have a few words on the review. Otherwise, it just it doesn't look quite as good. So please review the podcast. It helps.
Yeah. So thank you for listening and we hope you enjoy this incredible interview with Mr. Robbie Williams himself.
Yeah. Enjoy. You are Robbie Williams. We are the champions. And for this show, your arse is ours. And you better be good because we're going to be fucking phenomenal, Rob.
Okay, well, then we shall see.
Let's see.
So across 40 episodes, we've talked for over 87 hours about 388 songs from your 25/26/27 year solo career with listeners all around the globe. So it's the perfect time for you to be the ultimate guest on a podcast all about you.
Yes.
Oh, it's so cool that you do this, and it makes me very happy that you take such interest in what I do, because what I do musically is very important to me, and I seldom talk about music really. It's always what's what makes me and the makeup of my brain and my mind and my body and my soul, because I don't really know how to talk about what I do. I think that I get a lot of plaudits for how I perform.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are always very nice about how I entertain. But people, like I say, people, the news journalists, print, are seldom kind about what I do musically, and I think that's because erroneously there is a feeling that I don't do anything.
But we know that's not true.
No, I know, but it's sort of that leaving a boy band thing, and it kind of stuck.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think anybody thinks that there's a melody in my head, and I don't think that anybody really thinks that it's me doing the lyrics. But which is super odd to me and frustrating. You know, not too frustrating that, you know, on a level of want to really frustrating, it's a 6.5.
Right.
But so when I found out that you were doing this, I was very grateful. Very grateful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to. There was a space for it. It needed to be done.
It did. You know, all these other artists have got podcasts about them. And I was like, well, why isn't there one for Robbie? There needs to be.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And here we are. We appreciate you joining us after, the 87 hours, 388 songs that we've been through. And we've really loved it. I mean, just to give you some, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so each episode we have a special guest fan who helps us talk about the album that we're talking about. And they give us their own memories of being a fan. We talk about the tours. And we talk about, you know, our favourite lyrics and everything that we like about the music.
And we've also had some special guests on that. One of the two of them might have mentioned it to you, I'm not sure, but we've spoken to Steve Power, Steve Sidwell, Calvin, Danny and Rich. Incredible. We had such, honestly, with all of them, we had such a laugh, particularly with Calvin, Danny and Rich. Dinosh has been on recently and told us her story, which was incredible. And we had a cheeky visit from Perez Hilton, who absolutely loves you, by the way.
No way, that's mental. Did you?
Very random.
Yeah, how lovely is Calvin and Danny and Rich?
Oh.
Yeah, we loved them. Absolutely loved them.
Honestly, it was just, they loved talking about their work with you, and we obviously enjoyed. They were just so warm and so kind and so generous, and we were communicating with Danny about arranging it, and it was just a beautiful experience. It really was.
Yeah, they're very, very special people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and and literally from less than a mile away from me.
Yeah.
And you know, that felt lovely, that period, and we still work together. Rich sent me a couple of things this week. That period felt lovely. That there was Stoke in the house.
Yeah.
You know? And it also feels amazing that Burslem can create these swing songs too that are just proper standards.
Yeah.
And to be part of that with such beautiful souls.
Oh.
I really value their love for me because I know that their souls are spotless.
Yeah.
You know, and if they love me, that means I'm a good person because they only like good people.
Well, that's kind of what we wanted to say, is that we kind of felt through speaking to all these people that they're all so lovely. What does that say about you? Well,
yeah, that thank you. That does say nice things about me, obviously. But I think it's a joint effort, you know, because I've got great management too.
Yeah.
I've got lovely people that look after me, which is why I've been there for 27 years. Yeah. You know, so I won't stake claim for the loveliness being all me, but I'm a big part of it. Yeah. That and my management being beautiful souls and lovely people too. So it is a love fest. I've got kind people around me, haven't I?
You have.
Yeah, you have. Yeah. That energy must help. It really must. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into the questions, we've got a few questions from us.
Yeah.
Some which you may expect us to ask, some you may not.
Yeah, we're trying to maybe. I think we'll go for a bit of a different view to maybe most interviewers, hopefully. But yeah, we hope you like it. So to start with, the number one question on everybody's lips, Rob, is: will you ever sing "We Are the Champions" live again?
Do you know what? Probably, I get, I understand. Probably not, unless there is an absolute call for it. It's a really difficult song.
Is it?
I took my time, my curtain call. I did that. It's really high, and it only works when it's really high. And I don't know if I could sing that high anymore. Maybe I will now. I'm sat here thinking about it.
I think you can.
Maybe there will be a call for it, but I understand why you're asking.
Yeah, it's probably just us calling for it. So, you know.
When was the last time you heard that song?
2001, I think.
No, not me singing it, but like in general.
We heard it. I haven't heard it for a while, actually. It normally comes on most family parties, you know.
Yeah.
But
where does the name come from?
Well, a champion, one description of it is that it's we used to be gladiators, apparently, and fight for the lords and ladies of the land. That's the description I like to go with. A champion is a gladiator, yeah. Much unlike me, but apparently that's where it came from.
You've got one of them Roman faces.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You do. Yeah, I could see your face deserves a bust.
Yeah, okay. Can you get me one for Christmas, Lucy?
Okay.
Yeah, right.
So the next question, well, basically we saw you've got some new tattoos and wondered whether you could tell us a little bit about them, especially the cartoon type one on your arm. Did you design that? Yeah,
that was.
No, I thought you did.
I don't. Okay, so I haven't got a mind for numbers at all. Can you see those numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and it's awful that like I'm numerically dyslexic, and also numbers won't stay in my head. There's the old house that we sold in LA has got 4 numbers and the address. And then I couldn't remember what it was any time. I'd have to ask all the time, what are them numbers? I'd get 3 of them right, but the 4th one would always be wrong.
Right.
Now, if you translate that into what is our anniversary date and when was Coco born and when was Teddy born and when was Charlie born, I went to the opticians with Teddy and Charlie and the 2 oldest, and the optician was like, and dates of birth. And I was like, holy shit. I'm in front of the kids and they're going to find out I don't know. And I was like, excuse me a second, just got to take a call. So I've written down all the dates of birth. So they are there.
Right.
Teddy's got Ted, a teddy bear. Mm-hmm. Coco's got Coco Chanel.
Yeah.
And then this isn't a very good... This shirt's a bit tight. And then there is a it's me and Ed. Me and Ed have been doing art, and it's part of the stuff that we've been creating. It's a character that I want to call Talk Shit Boy.
All right.
Ed doesn't know that it's called Talk Shit Boy yet, but yeah, there's that. Charlie hasn't got one yet. But Charlie did a really good drawing of the Flash, and I think I might get that tattooed later. And then Bo, I'm undecided what that is. So they're very kid-based tattoos. Okay. The weird thing is about the tattoos. You ask me one question, I'll do 15 minutes. By the way, the weird thing is about the tattoos is that like I'm not in control of them, and Ida doesn't like them. You know, she's proper square, and like she wants to be in control of my tattoos, and it's a constant bone of contention between the two of us. It's like, no, give me dominion over me. So I'm
so
just
the rolled up banknote still hasn't made an appearance.
Well, I think I might get the rolled up banknote because I want to get the rolled up banknote, but I was going to get the rolled up banknote for Charlie. But it's tempting fate too much, obviously. But I want to get the rolled up banknote to remind me of who I was and where I come from. But also, the rolled up banknote for my son Charlie is frigging hilarious. It is really funny. I don't think everybody will find it funny, and I'll probably get in trouble for it. But you book Robbie Williams, you get Robbie Williams.
So, you know, the podcast is about rewinding through your career. So if you could rewind back to one moment in your career and relive it, what would it be?
What would it be? Do you know what? I'm really enjoying the now.
Yeah.
You know, the now is the best that it's ever felt. Mm-hmm. And I'm experiencing my career anew again.
Yeah.
Coming through COVID and being a different person now. Because of the kids and because of the wife and because of family life. I get to the feeling of gratitude is overwhelming. And how lucky I am. I feel as though that, you know, because of where I've been mentally, I didn't really get to enjoy those moments.
Right.
You know, and I was very pleased that they were happening to me, but I couldn't truly dig in and go, look at what I've created, look what's happening. So I actually wouldn't rewind to anything. And if anything, it would be the last UK tour.
Yeah.
Weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, and the future looks really bright too. And where I want to take this, you probably noticed that I'm doing more talking and there's stories, and I feel as though that's the future of what I do on stage. It's like play with the medium a bit, utilize the tools that I've got, the comedy, the stories, you know. So yeah, if I'm rewinding, where would I go to? I'd probably go to.
Personally, I'd go back to the Under the Radar concert.
Yeah, I would.
Under the Radar was really cool. It's great that I'll do more of that.
We would love more of that. That was going to be one of our questions, actually.
Yeah, I'll do more of that for you guys, for us, you know,
for us,
because that is a definite us thing.
Yeah.
Because there's like Robbie Williams, the public entity, and you probably heard me say this before, but I'm a very big believer in give them what they want. And there's you guys that, you know, the guys at the front. And then there's 17,000 other people.
Yeah.
No feel and no she's the one. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm blessed that I have these songs in my canon, but it is fucking annoying that I can't do Andy Warhol, or I can't do Just Want People to Like Me, or you know, or those kind of songs. It's like, that's what I'd rather be doing. But I'm there to provide a service, and also being on stage. And it's terrifying up there, mixed with it being hyper incredible to some sort of surreal degree, where it's an out-of-body experience that is so beautiful. It can also be mostly terrifying. That, you know, I'm on a tight wire and I'm trying to keep this thing going, and I'm me, and I could fall off at any time. Trying to keep the energy of the room to feel safe for me as a performer.
Yeah.
I don't want to scare them, because that scares me.
Yeah.
You know, if you put on, I noticed that, like with artists like Morrissey, just recently, he's been doing songs that haven't even come out yet on his tours. And that's a wonderful and a beautiful thing to do. And but I'm a different kind of artist.
Yeah.
Doing a different kind of thing. But it does mean that, unfortunately, I neglect people like you that would like to hear me sing stuff that's for us.
Yeah.
But that's why the whole Under the Radar thing is such a beautiful thing anyway.
And will you be releasing Under the Radar 4 anytime soon?
I've got 2 albums coming out, pretty soon. So I don't think it's going to be in the next couple of years. But yeah, there's on this computer that I'm talking to you on, just to the left there on that red thing with the musical note on it. There's so many songs in there, and so many songs that I love. Do you know the album that I think I got completely wrong about what I did and didn't put on? Take the Crown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Raver should have been on there.
Oh, yeah.
See, I got obsessed with Carly Rae Jepsen.
Right.
I just met you. This is crazy. And, and there was like Katy. I've always kind of ran away from manufactured.
Yeah.
I've tried my best to stay out of that and always put in something that's just odd or, particular to me.
Yeah.
And then there was manufactured is a bad word. I don't mean to use that. But then there was all of these artists out at the time that was just like, oh my God, I love these songs.
Yeah.
What are considered manufactured,
Yeah.
And I was like, instead of running away from that, why don't I run towards that? And there were a few songs that I left off Take the Crown that should have been on it, but no regrets about that, to coin a phrase.
Album.
Oh yeah.
Great. Yeah. It's very proud of that album.
So Vegas, you had to cancel some dates because of COVID. Do you think you'll be going back there at any point?
I don't think so.
Oh no, that's sad.
Yeah, but I'm currently going to be building my own hotel so I can do my own gigs in my own hotel.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
cool.
We wondered about that. Is that in Dubai by any chance?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm taking the opportunity to dream even bigger.
Yeah.
And I've achieved everything that I've achieved without even dreaming big. People always say in every interview, what would you say to a 16-year-old you? And I get bored answering it, but the answer is dream bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm now taking the opportunity to dream big and to see what that means and where that will take me. To put my foot down on the pedal of who and what I am.
Yeah.
And, and I have a accessibility to people because of my name, that if I have a good idea, they'll back me. So I'm really excited about that. And there's several of these things. There's loads of these things that are happening right now that are just really taking my fancy. And another part of the creative box, shining that light in a different corner and seeing if I could pull something remarkable off.
Yeah.
And that the hotel idea is one of them, and it's a remarkable thing to pull off, and I'll be very proud of it when it happens. I won't say if, when it happens.
Okay.
Yeah. It's something we've talked about in the podcast, actually, Rob. We've noticed over the past few years, and I know you've always done it, but in the past few years, you've really been exploring your creativity and really been experimenting and bringing, I'm sure you've been doing it behind closed doors, but you've really been bringing it out. And, it's cool to see you exploring those other things as well. Oh, what are you going to show us now?
I spend this This one's called Fuck Knows. So if you can just see this.
Yeah.
So all of these
Oh, wow.
are my drawings.
Yeah.
There's loads.
There is loads
Oh my
and
God.
loads
Oh,
and loads and loads. So I'm doing something creative every day, and making something exist on a day-to-day basis that didn't exist the day before.
Yeah. And you said before that you haven't dreamed big, or you want to dream bigger, but I've heard you and Ida also talk about manifestation and, abundance thinking. And so is that something that's important to both of you?
Yeah, it is. And I'm sure that with the new year coming up, Ida sent me a link to, I think it was Erica Badu, talking about the importance of writing it down with a real pencil on real paper. And I'm going to have to remind her that was something that she sent me a link to it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But there's no harm in trying to manifest something great for your family. Whether it works or not, it doesn't matter. It's just a nice, kind, gentle thing to do.
Yeah.
And I do have a belief that you can manifest things into your life. I mean, look at you. You've manifested me into your life.
Absolutely.
With this podcast.
Yeah.
So, manifestation. But you have to take the shot too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't just go, I want this to happen, and then
exactly.
sit in a darkened cupboard expecting to happen for you.
It happen.
Yeah.
You have to make it happen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make it happen.
So you've got nearly 60 shows scheduled next year, maybe even over that now. I think you mentioned it a moment ago, but would you say you're enjoying playing live more than you've ever done before?
Yeah, I am. But that's because I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's
We're
taken
noticing that.
Yeah, it's taken a long time. But better late than never. And when you can't experience joy, you don't experience joy.
Yeah.
But when you can, you do. And I think there's been a lot stored up for me. Mm-hmm. Because I am, I am currently, I'm currently, I don't know, smelling the flowers for the first time, seeing the bees and, looking at the birds fly. Metaphorically speaking, that's where my career is at now. Yeah. It's just such a joy to be able to do all of this.
Yes. And your family is sharing it with you as well. You talk a lot about when the family are there with you. You can see we can just see you light up with joy when you're, when Ida's there and Teddy's there and the Albert Hall.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie's not bothered yet. I did that gig in Munich to 120,000 people, and I looked over at the third song and he was playing on his iPad. But like Teddy just thinks I'm the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And and I know how much watching my dad meant to me and how proud I was of my dad.
Yeah.
And I glory in when Ted comes because I know what she's feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will they be able to go on tour with you next year? Or will they? Because it's a lot of
bits
dates.
and bobs. Yeah, bits and bobs. See, I'm gutted because there's a thing, because like Ted's a performer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Way ahead of where I was at the same age as her. Just unbelievable. And a personality, and I know that there's the proud dad aspect of everything, but trust me, I know when my children are good at things and not good at other things.
Yeah.
But she in particular is, a mini me when it comes to performance.
Mm.
And I'm gutted that we have to hide her, because I want my moments with her on stage. And that's a constant battle that may change. We may take a view and go, listen, let's just do this, you know. But up until they're 16 in our country and the UK, they're not allowed to put their faces in the papers. And I know that it's best that they don't become famous too young.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So during the pandemic, you entertained us with karaoke as Robbie Williams.
You really did entertain us, by the way. I mean, I'm sure you got lots of feedback, and I know that you saw the comments, but actually, you know, having you in our lives every night, there was a dark time, and, you know, so many people got so much joy out of that. So thank you for that on behalf of everyone.
Oh, pleasure.
So what's happening with all those unreleased songs that you played on Insta Live? There's so many.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you know, it was a joint effort with the keeping each other safe and entertained.
Mm-hmm.
The way that you guys felt about me being there, I felt the same way about you guys being there. It was a little bit of sanity and safety and continuity.
Yeah.
But which was much needed in my life too. What's happening with all of those songs? Well, everything that happens in showbiz happens at a snail's pace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've got used to it. I just, you know, you've seen the Lufthaus stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've released Sway and we've released Soul Seekers, but there is a vault. Oh, and To the Light, we released To the Light.
Yeah.
There's a vault of Lufthaus stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I could do 3 albums of Lufthaus stuff as Robbie Williams. And it's just slowly build it. There are like comment section. Remember comment section?
Oh,
Yes.
love comment section.
Yes.
Yeah. Comment section. I wonder if it'll ever see the light of day. It's so good. But then what happens is new stuff gets written, and the new stuff is the new toy, and you get excited about new. And I want to put an album out before next summer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great.
Maybe comment section will be on that. But yeah, I want to put an album out before next summer, and some of those, actually none of those things that you heard will be on there.
Oh,
Everything's brand new again.
so,
But,
you know, that's what Under the Radar's for, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. You'll see them on Under the Radar. Probably things that you heard 2 years ago will turn up in 3 years.
Oh.
How mad is that?
Yeah. In the meantime, we have to just listen to them on YouTube.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. So, and following on from that, you know that us hardcore fans love speaking to you and chatting with you online. So will we ever get a proper replacement for up front? That's a really key question. We miss the red light, Rob, and fans definitely miss the interaction with you.
I miss it too. The thing is about up front, and the thing is about Corona Oki. In the end, it only takes a few dissenting voices to really affect me. I'm sensitive.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then it becomes too corrosive.
Yeah.
You know, if there is, you know, I home in on that stuff, and it really affects me. And you know, I'd love to carry on doing things like that, and maybe I will at some point. But when online stuff affects your in life, when it affects you and affects your family, because you're just obsessed with wrongness,
Right.
Yeah.
Then you've got to take a view.
Yeah.
You've got to take a view. It's there's a lot of energy for one person,
Mm-hmm.
but I loved it too. It's like that I did.
Yeah.
Poker days and Upfront and Corona Oki they're all really, really beautiful things. But there is a danger that also online stuff can feed into your real life, not just with the energy of dissenting voices and madness, but also real life bodies turning up outside your house.
Right.
It's just like, nah.
No, we respect that. I was chatting with Lucy about that, and I thought that could be one of the reasons why you'd sort of moved away from that a little bit. I understand that if it's affecting your own well-being, and like you say, if it's getting a bit too close for comfort, I can totally understand that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very, very fortunate that I found that when, I did Instagram Live and I'd phone people, it just felt like everybody that I was speaking to was a carer.
Mm.
I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
But it was like everybody that I was speaking to helps human beings.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful that I attract that. But also with that is the opposite of that, and it's unfortunate, but it's the way of the world. And we really, what's happening with technology and the internet. We're at the start of the Industrial Revolution. This is massive.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how to police it.
Yeah.
And it's out of hand.
It is.
The genie's out of the bottle. And it's the Wild West.
Yeah.
And it's unsafe. There should be more safeguarding for it to be a safe place.
Yeah.
But there isn't. So I have to take a view, protect my sanity and protect my mental health. But unfortunately, there's beautiful people like yourselves and everybody else that I loved having contact with. Also, is a safe way for me to have contact with everybody, because I can't be everybody's friend to be everything to everybody.
No,
but
absolutely.
I can in a little room with letters that you type in, and that felt really good. It's well, it was a special place.
So, wondering about your music videos, which one do you like best in terms of the finished product, rather than which one you enjoyed making most?
I don't know if like is the word for videos, or I don't know. I don't sit back and go, that's my favorite. What's your favorite?
Feel for me.
Feel.
Matt, you don't really have one, do you?
I like Kids because Carly's in it.
Yeah. I like it.
I have to say that.
Feels nice, black and white. It's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
But that's not how I view videos. I've got less and less tolerant towards them as I get older. It's they're a means to an end. But that being said, I think they're a means to an end because you kind of get pitched ideas.
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, all right, there's 3 ideas, and you go, I'll do that one. But I think that if I became more involved in the subject matter, like with Lost, I wanted that to be me with me. So like at the Brits receiving an award, I wanted to be walking behind me, like Wim Wenders he did a film about these angels that follow people around. It's like I wanted to be my angel in the video, and like all of these moments in my career, I wanted to be there watching me.
Yeah,
which became impossible to do and too expensive, too time consuming. So it became what it was. I think that if I had have managed to been able to do the idea that I wanted, then maybe I would have been more invested. I think the trick is to become more invested in these, in videos, and I'm less and less invested or interested. They're really boring video shoots. It's like sit round, do 3.5 minutes, sit round, change, think, wait, 15, do 30 seconds. Do. So I've never done a film.
Yeah.
Right.
It's why the process is achingly boring.
Yeah.
Achingly. And now we're going to spend the morning shooting over your shoulder. Fuck off. Better things to do with my time.
Oh dear. So we talked about Lufthaus earlier on, and Tim and Flynn have been absolutely lovely supporters of the podcast. We've shared quite a bit of their performances in your tour as well. So obviously there's been good interaction with them there, and we're going to hopefully get them on the show soon. When will there be a Lufthaus album soon? That's the question.
I don't know if in that world there is albums.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that happens anymore.
Yeah.
But those two are hilarious. Yeah, and you know that I'm the older brother to errant teenagers. We did a gig in Ibiza. And I turned to Tim and I'm like, mate, is this your first time DJing in public? He went, yeah, mate. It was so funny because they came on first gig. I walked on. Everybody goes mad. Tim turns to me with his headphones on and he goes, "They fucking love us, mate." We're still trying to figure out what kind of live entity Lufthaus is, but it's enjoyable.
I absolutely love it. And I
Great.
particularly love Dublin, by the way. And I think I could see that they did as well. The crowd went nuts in Dublin when they came on. So,
great. Good.
So with the massive tour next year, there's a bit of a worry among fans that it means there won't be another tour for quite a few years after that.
No, Daddy goes to work.
So we're good, are we?
Yeah.
In the 4-year plan that you talked about, it's not all hotels and art. And
No. It's
there's definitely music in that.
No, it's. I'm trying to figure out how to do it without it causing me too much stress.
Yeah.
I can't do 4 months in a row, a month off, another 6 weeks. I'm just not built that way.
Yeah.
But I like going to work, and I hope that doesn't sound callous when I say work, because I love my job. I have to see this. I have to see this as a job, but it's a beautiful job, and I love having a purpose, and I love creating, and I also love creating an incredible environment for my family because of what I do. And we've just moved into a new house, and me and the wife are it's blissful right now. We're just wandering around. We had this huge place in Los Angeles, and it was basically like a super yacht on land, and it was impressive. And it was me putting the foot down on the accelerator to see what I could do, what rooms can I inhabit now that I've achieved all of these things.
Yeah.
And it was great, but it was just too big. to feel homely. And we bought somewhere that feels like a home. I've only been in it 3 days, and already I'm just like, this is where I want the grandkids to grow up.
Oh, nice.
So, and it's all because of what I do, you know, and that feels beautiful. I get to go and experience something like I did on the UK tour, and then come home and enjoy the spoils of what that means. And, you know, Ida is so good at creating memories and creating things for the kids, you know, and being able to facilitate whatever and however for these beautiful moments means a great deal to me, and it means a great deal to them. So yeah, I'll be hitting the road, and just I'm constantly trying to figure out how to make it not be exhausting.
Yeah.
And whatever that means, I've got a few ideas. But I'm going to be about, and also all of that talking that I did before these shows could lend itself to different venues and different forms of entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, so be expecting me to be a different kind of performer in different smaller venues, you know, chatting and all of that.
We love your
stuff.
storytelling, by the way. I mean, absolutely.
Thank you.
You know, on the most recent tour in the UK, it's just an incredible experience. And obviously we've seen you a lot, but we really mean that. It was incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It feels great being able to do it. It was funny. I think did you think the Irish gigs were like the best gigs?
We only went to one of the Irish gigs, but yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. The atmosphere, I think, was...
It's always better in Ireland.
Yeah. We know it is, which is why we went there. It was incredible.
But yeah. It is. And there was, I don't know if you were there the one night where I was so exhausted. I was having a lovely time, but I was so exhausted that I launched into one of my stories and then just completely forgot what I was doing and what I was saying. There's like this pregnant pause.
Oh dear.
But it was just me searching my brain for, I'm going, where am I? But I think I don't know if anybody noticed, but those moments on stage where you forget what you're doing seem to last forever.
Yes.
That being said, the Irish gigs were really, really special. It was so funny how different things in different places go down, because when I'm taking the mick, I take the mickey out of myself.
Yeah.
So everybody else is fair game too. If I'm taking the piss out of me, I'm taking the piss out of you, and I'm taking the piss out of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so I am very loving towards Take That, but I also take the piss out of Take That too.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love the boys and I love it. But it's so funny because what people laugh at in Birmingham was not the same in Ireland. You say something about Take That that's in the most loving way is derogatory. Yeah. So I'm derogatory about me too, you know. Yeah, so, but like, it was a different kind of atmosphere in Ireland. You said something, and then I realized after the first night, it's like, oh, they don't feel the same way about it here. You know, which was lovely too, because that means that there is a nice place in their heart for what Take That is and what they achieved.
Yeah.
But I just thought that it was interesting how in different places people react in different ways to what I'm saying.
Yeah. So shifting gears a little bit now then, Rob, if you'll let us. We've had lots of questions from listeners, and we've selected a few of the best to ask you. Nothing too scary, don't worry. So Debbie Williams from Milton Keynes would like to know, if you had a choice between winning one of the following, which would you pick? So winning a Grammy, an Oscar for Best Song, or Port Vale winning the Premier League? So a Grammy, Best Song, or Port Vale winning the Premier League?
It's Port Vale winning the Premier League. I find the whole idea and concept of awards for creativity baffling. And it's lovely to be able to say that, you know, I hold the most Brits.
Yeah.
And I can say this from a different angle, being the person that has, and it would irk me if I'd never won one. But it's baffling, the concept of awards. Oh, up for the award tonight is the colour blue. For the award tonight is the colour orange. And the winner is the colour orange. What does it mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. You know, like, you know, your peers voting for you. I think that's what happens at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Grammys, completely not bothered about Grammys. Winning a best song at the Oscars would be great, because that would mean that my film's done really well.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, I would trade it all for Port Vale winning the Premier League. But I have a very odd relationship with awards.
Yeah.
You know, it's, I could tell you, I won't on air, but a few stories that sort of nullify awards meaning anything.
Right.
You know, you know, especially when they're not voted for by the public.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree.
The dodgy things that happen backstage. You know, it's like, if you turn up, you get the award. If you don't, it goes to somebody else.
Yeah.
But what does that make awards?
Yeah. So Amanda Wanless from Essex asks, would you like to do an acoustic album and concert?
Yeah. I think that concept would run in line with me telling more stories. I know Gaz Barlow is doing a one-man show, and he only does 12 minutes of
yeah we've been to see it.
Yeah.
Was it good? Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved
Yeah, we
it.
did.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. And I haven't seen it myself, and I wouldn't go see it live because I can't be the guy that sits there that he's talking about.
Mark went to see it.
Yeah, I know, but Mark didn't make him ill.
You could hide at the back of a box somewhere in the shadows.
That's what Mark did.
No one would see you.
Well, I don't know if you saw Mike Tyson's one-man show.
No.
So good. But I think that acoustically, that kind of show would lend itself to something like that. So yes is the answer.
Okay.
That will be in the future.
And Marie Burberry from Coventry asks a super important question. What is your favourite sandwich? And if you don't eat bread now, what did it used to be?
I like that question. I think I'd go for a tuna melt with mayo and tomato ketchup. That's the one that comes to mind right now. What are yours?
Chicken and cucumber for me.
BLT for me.
BLT.
Yeah.
I suppose that the club sandwich is a remarkable sandwich too, with fries. But if I was going to go for anything, it would be a tuna melt with mayo and tomato ketchup. The bread must be toasted.
Yes.
Okay.
So Kelly Thurston from Essex is intrigued to know, how different is it to do a private gig versus a public gig? How different is the energy that comes from it? And do you feel that you give a different show when the hardcore fans are not at the front?
I've done some bizarre private shows, and I'm very grateful for them because, you know, I know that, you know, I need to go to work just like people need to go to work. You know, I have a lifestyle. That the thing is about what I do is, I know you look at rich lists and all of that business and think, fuck, you know, you don't need anything. But what happens is your lifestyle just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And, you know, there's a lyric in the James song, Sit Down. It says, if I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. And you quite easily gets out of hand in the most beautiful way.
Yeah.
But I love my lifestyle. And It feels good. These private shows facilitate an awful lot of things that make my life better, make my life easier. So what do I think about them? There is some that are just phenomenal and really good fun, and some where I just have to giggle to myself, and I genuinely in my head just giggle that there's no one watching me. I've done shows where there's been 3 people watching me, and one was my manager, one was Ida, and one was the guy that booked me.
Oh, goodness me.
It
must be very surreal for you to go from one extreme to the other like that.
Yeah, it is. It is, but it's fascinating. It's like I say, there has been private shows where it's phenomenal. It's really good fun when everybody's drunk and they're excited to see.
Yeah.
There have been private shows that have felt as good as any other shows. There have been private shows where it's just bizarre. And I get through them by just giggling in my head.
So Alexander Shalapin from Russia is itching to know if you're going to release Rudebox 2, or maybe an under-the-radar volume Rudebox might work.
So funny how Rudebox dictated my next 3 albums. There was a place that I was going with Rudebox that got derailed. And then I started to second think myself, and I'd never thought myself. It was just like, this is where I'm going. Everybody will come with me. And then I just panicked and was just like, oh shit, I better put something else on the next one that sounds like, I don't know. What did I do? My next album that I'm putting out, I want to imagine that it's 1995. I've just left Take That. And with everything that I know now, what would I do? Okay. So that's my next, that's the concept of the next album. And that's what I'm really invested in.
Yeah.
Who knows where it's going? I change with the wind. But yeah, I'd like to do a Rudebox too. I love that album.
Yeah, so do we.
Great,
oh,
thanks.
Yes. And Danny, Calvin and Rich are up for it, as we spoke to them about it.
I'm down for doing it with them.
So Bobby Brown from Grimsby is dying to know if the Hello Sir poem you wrote on those little cards during COVID is for sale, please, because she'd like to buy it if so.
Bobby Brown.
Yes.
Hi, Bobby Brown. Hi, darling. Can't remember did I write it down?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was on it wasn't a typewriter one. I think it was
a typewriter one.
You did you showed it on Instagram Live.
I don't know where that is. There is Airdo. I do all my art with everything that I did. Do you know what I wanted to do was cut all of those things that I did, all the colouring in, and put them in. I'd just give them out at the front to people like you.
Oh, we would have liked that.
But they're in Shropshire somewhere, and everything that I wrote and everything that I drew has now gone into a vault, really, at Ed's. This is a combined Williams Godrich thing, and I don't know where the Hello Sir thing is. Maybe I'll do Prince.
Yeah. That would go down well. Well, maybe one day then, Bobby. One day.
By the way, Bobby, I'm looking after your son very, very well. And Bobby, thank God he didn't meet me in 96, 95.
One of your tribute artists, Tony Lewis, said that if you walked into one of his gigs, it would stop him in his tracks. So he'd like to know who would stop you in your tracks if they walked into your gig.
Who would stop? Hi, Tone. Who would stop me in my tracks if they walked into? No one really, because I I love there being somebody in that's somebody that I admire that's in the same industry.
Yeah.
I like showing off for them. I like. I was thinking about who I lost the plot with the most, and it was Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah.
Like my heroes are comedians,
Right.
And when I did Soccer Aid with Will Ferrell, and he used to come to my house and play football with me in LA, I went fully fanboy and just didn't know how to speak to him. Because I've got, so I reckon whoever it's in the audience just makes me want to boss the show even more.
Okay,
because
so you go the other way.
It's the other way. Yeah, I think I get cockier when I know people are in the audience going, they'll fucking love this. Hello to me.
So one of your many American fans, even though you like to say you've only got one, Jocelyn Wonders.
Oh, Jocelyn, yeah.
Yeah. In fact, we recorded an episode with Jocelyn in this very house when she was over for the UK tour.
She's such a sweetie.
Absolutely, yeah. She wonders where you got the idea from the tiger on the pants. Where did that idea come from? There's a lot of speculation about this, Rob.
That was Vaughan Arnell, the director. And it would have, whoever had been the stylist at the time.
Right.
Okay.
So they did me a big favor. They're still to this day, I put them on like a suit of armor to go on stage. Although, if it was down to what I'm an animal am I now, I'd have a sloth on the front.
Angie Redford asks, would you consider doing a tour where you sing an album in its entirety? It would be her dream to hear the whole of Intensive Care sung live.
Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? I've often thought about, an album a night.
Mm.
But that'd be a lot of nights.
Thoughts. There's lots of thoughts. What album would you like to hear?
That's tricky. Maybe Life Through a Lens or Under the Radar 1. Escapology. I don't know. It's too hard.
Really hard to say, yeah. No, it'd be hard to pick, actually. Very hard to pick.
Yeah, I bet you I'd do that at some point. God willing and health willing. I bet you I'd do that.
Yeah.
Good.
The band won't thank me, though.
No, that's a lot of work.
If you imagine doing 14 albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learning 160 songs or whatever it is, 170.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So we know you like a game, Rob. And so to help us talk a little bit about your back catalogue, but keep it interesting, not that it isn't interesting, but, through the game, we'd like to look at it in a different way. So to how you may have done it before with other people. So we're going to play the Robbie World Cup. Okay, England lost, but you can't actually lose this World Cup, Rob. So
is it song against song?
Album against album.
Album.
Oh.
So we've randomly drawn 16 of your albums against each other.
Here we go. No expense spared here. We'll explain this.
So we've got the studio ones, the Under the Radars, and 25. So it is random. We've filmed ourselves doing the draw. We can put that on our social media to prove it was random.
Okay.
So the first, you've got to choose a winning album in each match until we get the winner of all.
Okay.
So the first match is
Swings Both Ways, Under the Radar 1, Life Through a Lens, Swing When You're Winning.
So the first match is
between Swings Both Ways and Under the Radar 1. Who's your winner there?
Under the Radar 1.
Okay.
Oh, let's get the old.
Could take a few moments. Right, here we go. Right, there we go. Right, Under the Radar 1. Okay. And then Life Through a Lens and Swing When You're Winning.
Life Through a Lens.
Okay, Life Through a Lens. Highly rehearsed this. Okay, Life Through a Lens. Okay, and then we've got Under the Radar 2 and Rude Box.
Rude Box.
Rude Box. Right. Okay. Rude Box. You got any questions you want to ask along the way?
I forgot about that.
And then we've got 25 and Escapology been drawn against each other.
25.
Okay.
Oh. I had a few questions about 25, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened to the Kylie bits on Disco Symphony? Will we ever hear that?
Yeah, she did a disco album.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what happened to that. She did a disco album, and because she was doing a disco album and it was a disco, I don't know. There was hey, listen, do you mind if we don't, because I've got this thing to do.
Right.
She was super busy, and Disco Symphony is now just me.
Mm-hmm.
So did she sing on the whole song, or was it just the bridge she was on? Or?
Yeah, we exchanged lines.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll hear that one day.
Yeah.
And how was it recording Kids? I guess she did that where she is and just sent her vocals over.
She did that where she was, and I was where I was. And yeah.
Okay.
We'd love to see the two of you on stage at some point.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes.
Might have to come to Australia, though, I guess, to see that, maybe.
And then Lost. Very, very important question about Lost. Why did you drop it from the set list on tour?
I dropped it from the set list on tour because, there's something amazing that I Love My Life does.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of works as a hit, and it's like my last sort of big one. There'll be others, God willing. But I was hoping that Lost had that sort of place and feeling in the room. And, I need lily pad to lily pad to lily pad to jump to. And when I replaced it with Old Before I Die, that lily pad appeared. The room lit up. And Lost, I think what happened was, normally to facilitate the success of something, a video comes out timely. And what happened with the video for Lost was there is the grading place where it gets graded, and all of the thing and the thing and the thing, stuff I don't understand, had a backlog. There was a bottleneck in the industry for the finishing of these, films. So the video came out too fucking late.
Right.
And, I think that just the promotion didn't gel for the song, unfortunately. And I was hoping that Lost would do the same sort of thing that that I Love My Life does, but in a feel kind of way. Mm-hmm. And it didn't. And it should have done, because it's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
I think that if it was released in 2002, it would be something that would be in my canon forever. I'm very proud of that song. I love it. I know that's a goodie.
It is. We
You wouldn't add it next year back into the set list?
Yeah, maybe, but I'm thinking of putting Tripping in, and
okay.
There was moments that happened in Europe where people got on board during intensive care.
Yeah.
So for a lot of countries in Europe, intensive care was their escapology.
Right.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Rude Box is number 1 in Germany. That might go in. Tripping had a big moment. All of those kind of songs. So that they'll probably find their way into the set list.
Okay.
Yeah. We really enjoyed hearing Tripping in Munich.
Yeah.
Munich, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
It felt good.
Yeah. And then also had a couple of questions about More Than This and The World and Her Mother. Can you tell us a bit about them? Because you haven't spoken about them at all.
Yeah. I love those songs.
Yeah.
Love those songs. The World and Its Mother. You know, I probably write a lot of songs about those lost bits when pre-rehab, before I knew that I had an illness of sorts, and what it meant to me, what it meant to a great deal others. That sort of acid house, dance culture, DJ culture, drug culture, and being on the precipice of massive change for youth culture and being amongst it and feeling the energy of, you know, being at the zeitgeist of the world is changing. And our world did change in those moments. And there is still a great love and a great hankering to return to the innocence of what we thought we were achieving, you know. And The World and Its Mother is an ode to those moments, I suppose.
Right.
We walk on broken glass just to get back home, a heart of gold and a raver's soul. You know, it's that sort of naughtiness of turning up back at my mum's house with wide eyes.
Yeah.
Going, I hope she doesn't notice. So that was that. And You're More Than This, I suppose, is Ida's love towards me. You know, you're more than this. You're better at life than you've been letting on. And I don't know why. You're more than this. You are what it is. The world is at your fingertips. And there's more than this. You know, it's that, you know, delving into the archives of not being able to find joy, and there being people there that are a life raft that want you to be well.
Yeah.
That's what that song is. You know, the confusion for people about how can you not be, I'm not saying my wife, but how can you not be enjoying any of this?
Yeah.
You know, and look what's happening. It's amazing. But yet here you are with an inability to procure any sort of enjoyment from it. And I suppose that's what More Than This is about.
Beautiful.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Okay.
So I'm going to the next match.
Yeah, right. So we'll get there sometime this evening, Rob. So Sing When You're Winning and Christmas Present, they're up against each other next.
Christmas Present.
Right. So Christmas Present. Okay. And will we ever hear California Christmas be released? That's one question.
Isn't it amazing that didn't make it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that'll have its day. It deserves its day on a proper album, but I bet you it'll end up on Under the Radar or something like that.
Yeah.
Because you said there was going to be like 7 unreleased songs that you were going to release in 2020 on a reissue of The Christmas Present, but that never happened. We got Can't Stop Christmas instead.
Yeah.
I think because of COVID. Will you ever release it again?
I have lots of ideas, and then grown-ups step in and go, yeah, that can't happen for whatever reason. I can't remember what that was. But there's still plenty of Christmas songs left.
We look forward to those.
And The Christmas Present has been busted out in the house. We've got we've got a tree in the bedroom, and me and the kids and Ida decorate the tree together, and The Christmas Present was on in the background. And Ida she looked at me, she said, "Are you all right?" Because she was talking to me, and I didn't even know she was talking to me, because I was just lost in the music that was going on, listening to, is this right? I was like, yeah. I don't like, So the Christmas present will be a staple in the Williams house for the rest of my life at Christmas, and it's it's a wonderful tool to have.
Will you ever do a Christmas tour again? Like more Christmas shows, maybe?
Maybe it's not on the horizon right now. There's just so many other things.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Take the Crown and the Heavy Entertainment shows next.
The Heavy Entertainment show.
Heavy Entertainment show. Okay. All right. And shall we move on to the next one? You ready for the next one? Do you want to get some questions on that one?
I did have a bit of a silly question.
Rob doesn't want a silly question.
No, I like silly questions.
Okay.
Well, Matt and I nearly.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah. Go on then.
We nearly had a full-blown row over one of the lyrics.
Yeah.
On "I Don't Want to Hurt You." So it's. I think you're saying, "Thought you were crazy to put your trust in me," and Matt says, "It's aren't you a quizzy? Put your trust in me."
Aren't you a quizzy?
See?
Okay, I am wrong. Right.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Because that's what it says on like Spotify or something.
I figured it might be.
Quizzy to put your trust in me.
I thought quizzy was a word, but you know.
But it is. It is. It makes no sense in that sentence, but
no. Okay.
Yeah, it's not that.
Thanks for bringing that up, Lucy. Right. I knew I'd be wrong there. Right. So I've been expecting you, and Under the Radar 3 is the next pairing.
Under the Radar 3.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And then we've got Intensive Care and Reality Killed the Video Star.
Ooh.
Oh, difficult choice there.
Intensive Care or Reality Killed the Video Star. I think I'd rather listen, like now, if you gave me 2 albums to put on.
Yeah.
Overall, a Reality Killed the Video Star.
Right.
Okay.
This is a great way to do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, because it must be difficult to, treat your babies like this.
Yeah, it is.
So then we're into quarterfinals. So I'm make sure I don't not cover Lucy up. So then we've got, in the first round, we've got Under the Radar 1 and Live Through a Lens.
Well, it's very, very difficult because Angels is on Live Through a Lens that gave me everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I've gleaned the most enjoyment out of Under the Radar 1. So I'll go Under the Radar 1.
Ooh. That was a tricky one. I would find it hard to choose between them.
That is tricky. Oh, this is getting difficult now.
This is the business end, as they say.
So then we've got Rude Box against 25.
Rude Box.
Rude Box. Okay, and then we have Christmas Present against the Heavy Entertainment Show.
What I get the most enjoyment out of?
Yeah.
Christmas Present.
Christmas Present. Okay. And then Under the Radar 3, a Reality Killed the Video Star.
Reality Killed the Video Star.
Okay. Oh, it's getting tense. So into the semi-finals.
Oh.
And in the semi-finals, we have Under the Radar 1 against Rude Box. And we also have Christmas Present against Reality Killed the Video Star. So, Under the Radar 1 or Rude Box?
Rude Box.
Uh-huh. Ooh, so Rude Box makes it into the final. Okay, and then we have between the Christmas Present and Reality Killed the Video Star.
The Christmas Present.
Wow.
Ooh.
I absolutely love the Christmas Present, by the way.
Me too.
We've listened to it at least 100 times recently to prepare for our episodes, which we've just put out around the Christmas Present. So it's very timely. Yeah. So then, Rob, we have Rude Box against the Christmas Present.
Okay. So
your high scorers here.
I'm basing this on what I get the most enjoyment out of.
Okay.
And it's like all the albums don't come out. They don't come out. It's always the next album. Always the next album, apart from the Christmas present. That will be, as I say, a staple in the Williams household at Christmas time for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And I get such a kick out of it, and there's such joy to it. And there is, silliness and heartfelt, and, there's an authenticity to the subject matter, that's something that could be deemed lightweight and I don't know, unimportant in stratospheres of scratchy beards and intellects when it comes to music. I don't suffer those pretensions, thankfully.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite album that I've ever done is The Christmas Present.
Oh.
Yay.
And
Yeah.
two of my all-time favourite songs of yours are on there, Home and Rudolph.
Yeah, Rudolph should have been the single.
Oh, Rudolph.
I think it should as well.
So
yeah.
there we
Yeah.
are.
Rudolph should have been the single. Sorry, Calvin, Dan and Rich. That should have been the single.
Masterpiece.
Absolutely love it. I can't get enough of that song. It just sounds incredible.
Yeah, it does. I think, thank you. The great thing about that album is there'll be gifts that will come out from it. There's like that it won't just die, that album. People will find different songs, and the listener will find different songs that will appear for the years to come. And I'm sure that a lot of those songs will be covered by various different people. I know there's a Swedish artist that covered the Fairy Tale song, and there is a artist that is a big hero of mine from the 80s that discovered December in London, think I just been made, and he wants to cover it, and it's a thrill that he even knows it. So I think that those kind of things will happen from that album.
Right. Okay.
So there we go.
That's the Robbie World Cup.
You've won the World Cup with Christmas presents. So.
Yeah.
But we won't talk about football because we're not football fans, so we won't go there.
Right.
So I was wondering, you shared band members with James Blunt. Would you ever write with James or do a duet
I want
with
to.
him? Yeah.
I want to. We've bumped into each other quite a bit this year, and we say, we're getting a room, and we don't, and we haven't yet, but we will. That's the thing about his life and my life. We're seldom in one place. Yeah. It's not like, oh, we live here, therefore let's do it on Wednesday in 3 weeks' time. We'd have to be very lucky to be in the same place. And I am very fond of James. Early on in his career, I went to see him a couple of times and I loved the show.
Yeah.
And I'd love to do something with him. It'd be fun. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we lose him from Twitter, there won't be anybody to laugh at anymore.
So at the Royal Albert Hall, we weren't allowed phones because it was being filmed. Did you actually quite like that? Were the crowd more engaged because of it, do you think?
I don't mind either way.
Okay.
I'm not one of those people that are just like, thank God there was no phones.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't really notice, to be honest with you. Do you know, when I did my original gig there for the Swings, Swing When You're Winning.
Yeah.
It was an epic gig. It was a very big gig for me, a marker in the sand. something where my career is concerned is very important.
Oh, yeah.
And I was past that place knowing that something special happened that evening. I didn't realize until I go back there and did those couple of gigs, it's the venue itself that makes things extra special.
Mm.
There's there's a magic in the walls.
Yeah.
And I think I'm built for the Albert Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing.
But I didn't realize that you're actually performing with a building, which I found quite interesting. That was the takeaway from my last couple of gigs there that were really special. Were you there the night I cried?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened was, I've been putting this stuff in my hair, right? Thickening stuff. Do you know this? Do you know this story?
I've heard it. I don't know whether you heard it, Matt.
I've heard you talk about your hair once or twice before.
Yeah, I've been putting thickening stuff in my hair. And like before going on thick, I didn't realize I'd been spraying Rogaine into my head, which I've tried before, but it depresses me.
Oh, no.
So I remember being on stage and like bursting into tears and thinking, what the fuck is wrong with me? I mean, yeah, I feel emotional and yeah, I'm having a really wonderful time. And yes, I feel all of these things, but this isn't right, because I just thought, if I start crying now, I'm not going to stop.
Oh.
And then I'll get home, and over the next few days, I was really, really down, really, really down. And I was thinking, is there something different about my diet? Is there a pill is there a vitamin that is off? What the hell? And we narrowed it down to this Rogaine that I was spraying into my head. And I realized that what I'd been doing before each show was spraying depression into my scalp.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
No, it's funny. It's funny, but like the real reason that I cried so much on the second day was because I'd sprayed depression into my head. I was feeling emotional because it had just attacked my hormones.
Wow. Well, you created a moment, Rob.
Yeah.
I did create a moment, and there's plenty of moments where I'm on stage where I'm overwhelmed with love and I'm overwhelmed with the moment. And I always think that, if I wasn't so intently concentrating, this would be a moment where my heart would expand and it would burst.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it did. I mean, I had, if I was a sportsman, I would have been doped. I'd been doped into emoting. I was cheating with my emotions. But those tearful moments are how it feels. And I sometimes I just can't access it to let people know.
Yeah. Get it. So we get the impression that you enjoy acting. What would be your dream acting role, apart from playing yourself in Better Man?
Well, I've written a TV show with a friend of mine, and the only thing that I would take joy out of doing is acting in something that I've written.
Right.
I have no interest in... I mean, if you look at most films that come out, very few and far between that any of them are any good. And then if you narrow it down to what role would you like to take in any of those movies, not so much. I just watched Spirited with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell.
Ah,
Haven't seen that.
haven't seen it, no.
Oh, I loved it. I absolutely loved it because it's Will Ferrell and it's Ryan Reynolds. And anybody that can make me laugh, I just have a big girly crush on them. And I've got a big girly crush on both of those two. And it's a musical and it's a adaptation of Scrooge, a modern version with massive twists. And I guess that anything that Ryan Reynolds is in, I'd want to do that. But if I ever got the chance to do it, I'd say no, because I can't be asked.
Yeah, because you don't even like making music videos.
No.
I was wondering if you've written a song for Bo.
Not yet. No. Bo hasn't got a song. There's a song for Coco called Cobra. That's a Lufthaus song. There's also Coco's Lullaby on the Christmas present, and she was.
There's one you shared on Instagram Live as well for Coco.
What's that? I think that might be Cobra. She got a temper like a cobra. She's underwater's over.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
You get no answers to the questions until you learn your lessons. Somehow, child of mine, you're divine. Yeah. So she's got that one. Bo hasn't got one yet, but he will.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
What's your favourite album cover? I know you said you didn't like Reality Killed the Video Star. You told Zane Lowe that, but have you got a favourite?
25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
25. Also, the Under the Radar ones.
Yeah.
You spend a fortune with these massive productions, and like my favorite ones are just stuff that we took on holiday.
Yeah. Shows
Me wandering naked through my forest at Compton Bassett.
Yeah. Climbing a tree as you do.
Yeah. It just goes to show, you don't need to spend a fortune.
No.
You just go through your own photos and put that up.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice you've given Guy, and what's the best piece that he's ever given you?
I don't know if there is a piece of advice that I've given Guy or Guy has given me.
No?
I don't think that's how the relationship works.
Right.
The best piece of advice that Guy has given me is just get closer to the mic, I think. The best. You're too far away from the mic. Get closer. Or can you stand a bit further away from the mic?
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Love it. We enjoyed his show recently. We saw his one-man show at the Bugley Festival, and someone at the end asked, he was playing Angels, and then someone said, do you mind if we could all sing it? And this whole sort of church hall place that we were in, everyone stood up and we all sang Angels, and it was absolutely beautiful. So,
oh, wow. That's cool. He would have loved that. And
he did.
I love the thought of that.
Yeah.
So Matt first saw you live at Glastonbury in 1998.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on doing the Legends versus headliner slot? I know you're doing Isle of Wight this year, which we are going to.
We'll be at the Isle of Wight.
Legends.
Are you fussed?
Yeah, kind of am fussed. Like, not fussed for it to be a problem that I haven't been asked yet. But I mean, yeah, it would be. I know I would slaughter it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that it's one of those times and places where there's a reimagining of what Robbie Williams is, for it perception wise. When you do Glastonbury, perception changes.
Yeah,
and more than any other festival, Diana Ross could play any festival and not get any traction. Diana Ross plays Glastonbury and everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Barry Gibb does the same thing. He could play the Isle of Wight and you wouldn't even know he'd done it. But if he plays Glastonbury, everybody knows that he does. So it does a remarkable thing for perception. And I know that there would be a lot of people there that have an oblique understanding of what I am.
Mm-hmm.
But if they actually saw me do it, I think I'd take their heads off.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah. And I look forward to doing that if I get the opportunity, because I know there's a lot of heads out there that once they see what it is,
Mm-hmm.
they will know, instead of having a feeling that it might be something that it isn't.
Yeah.
I'll just have to convince Lucy that camping is all right and that she can do it. She's not into sleeping in a tent, but I think if you're there, she will.
Right, glamp, do the glamp.
Well, that's what we're
glamping,
doing
yeah.
at the Isle of Wight.
We are doing that at the Isle of Wight. Proper
Yeah, I
bed.
mean, there's the Isle of Wight that'll be fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I know there'll be a lot of floating voters there too that are about to witness what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what happened to the podcast that you were going to do with Andy Goldstein that you recorded with him.
What happened was this. I gave away too much information, and it's all gold, but all it would mean is that it would basically be doing a free reveal for the tabloids every week.
Right.
And
Oh, I see.
And as it happens, you don't get a fair crack of the whip or represented properly. The most sensational bits, of which there are many, would be taken out and made even more sensational.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's the point of doing that for free?
Yeah. Yeah.
Making somebody else rich off the back of your, so unfortunately, as much fun as it was, and I will be working with Andy, but on a different project, as much fun as it was, I don't want to be bait.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to be, it does nothing for me.
Right.
Because there'll be 5,000 people that will listen to it, but there will be millions of people that will read the headline, and there will be no context.
Yeah.
So it would do me more damage than it would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited or nervous about Better Man coming out?
I'm both excited and both nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not nervous that it isn't any good, because what I've seen has blown me away. Yeah. The thing that I'm nervous about is being in the crosshairs again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's the film's coming out and the Netflix thing's coming out, and I haven't been the thing that has made I've not been truly economically viable to the lesser energies associated with the media for a long time, which has made my life enjoyable and made all of this possible. Just like, I've got my job, I'm dead happy, da 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 da. I need these couple of things for the wind behind my sails for the third part of my life.
Yeah.
So they're vital. But if they are a success, then for however long a time, I become in the crosshairs again.
Yeah.
And it's a very vulnerable time to be in the media right now.
Yeah.
You can get cancelled for anything. And I'm not talking sexually. I'm just talking anything that you say. What particular day you wake up on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
You are a relic from the last century where we thought and felt different things, and you're 15 seconds away from being cancelled at any moment, and that doesn't feel comfortable.
No. And
especially for somebody that kind of like me, that just shoots from the hip with silliness, not shoots from the hip with opinions about how the world should be.
Yeah.
Just jokes and laughter and daftness. And so there's two ways of looking at it. I'm very much looking forward to it coming out being a success, because success feels great. But at the same time, being in those crosshairs makes me feel vulnerable.
Yeah, I understand.
So we know your fans mean a lot to you. Tell us how it feels to see familiar faces at your gigs.
I love looking out at everybody in the audience, the familiar faces. There is a safety net there for me.
Yes.
You know, it's like there's strangers, and then there's you guys. And it's always a joy to make eye contact and go, oh yeah, cool. Because there is a continuity that
Right.
I like, and the continuity breeds safety for me. And like I touched on earlier on, it's kind of scary up there. As much as I look confident and in control and bravado and braggy and stuff, and a lot of the time I am confident and I am in control. But my mind races. I go places. I have intrusive thoughts. It's high stakes. I demand and expect an awful lot of me.
Yeah.
And I demand and expect to create an energy that stays with people forever. Because that famous saying goes, people won't remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I have a level of professionalism that I demand from myself, that these people are taken care of when I'm on stage. These people enjoy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that these people feel elevated and taken to a different place for an hour and 45. I don't take the responsibility of that lightly or granted. I wake up and it's on me. Gig day, it's on me. You know, it's there's no room for complete relaxation on a gig day. I know what's coming up. I know what's expected of me, and I know how much it's going to take out of me to do it.
Yeah.
Because it involves me being big, and it involves me putting out a power of sort that generates a room full of people or a stadium full of people. And with any battery, you know, it depletes. Mm-hmm. And when you do it over and over again, the battery is depleted to a place where, shit, I expect myself to do this thing, but there's nothing in the tank. As it happens, Dr. Showbiz has always been something that I can rely on, that imbues my body and takes over. Thankfully.
Yeah.
Leading back to seeing you guys, that is why you guys are really important to me, because there is a continuity and a safety, and, you know, it's like a pair of slippers, you know, in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's a comfort here. Yeah.
Good.
And it works the same for us as well, by the way, because as you know, the community that's built up around you is a global community, and it's just the most beautiful, wonderful thing to be a part of. You know, you can go to any gig and we will see people that we know, and we obviously catch up with people in between as well. So, you know, we've got friends that are friends for life, you know, not just at your gigs, and it's a really beautiful thing.
I do seem to attract kind people.
Mm.
And that means a great deal to me, especially seeing as though, you know, my act, for the most, if you ask people what Robbie Williams is, that didn't know, you know, they would say full of ego and bravado and self-importance and all of that business. It is amazing that there is a group of people that have seen beyond that and have got together. And those people actually are really kind people. I don't know if that happens with lots of other artists, because I'm not lots of other artists, but there is, there is an overwhelming feeling with me that these people are good people.
Yeah.
It's like these people aren't baddies.
No.
These people are carers, and they have kind hearts, and that's reassuring to know that I've inspired that.
Yeah.
Great. Because if I do say something nice about myself, that's who I really am.
Yeah.
Is that there's a kindness, and there's a kindness, and it hopefully that shines out through whatever else I pretend to be in any given moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So I think like attracts like.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So thank you so much for joining us, Rob. It's been a pleasure to fire all these different questions at you from us, from fans, and play the World Cup with you and hear some different stories, hopefully, that maybe some people haven't heard about before.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's been really wonderful. We appreciate you spending the time with us, and it feels right that we've got you on the show. What is it, episode 35, maybe something like that? Because we've pretty much come up to the current day, so we've kind of not rewinding so far back anymore.
Have Tim and Flynn been on?
Tim said that they would like to. Yeah,
we'd love them to come on.
I can do it.
Yeah, Tim was talking to us and said that he wanted to wait. He was waiting for a particular release or something.
He's waiting for the Lufthaus official announcement.
Yeah,
it's been announced properly now.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to them.
Cool.
Yeah. And would you join us again for a part 2 next year between all of those loads of different gigs that you've got going on?
Yeah. You'll have to come and talk to me about my new album.
Ooh,
yeah, I'd love to.
Love to do that.
Yeah.
Yes, Rob. Rob, thank you. We really, really appreciate you spending a couple of hours with us.
It's not something I ever envisaged happening when I was like a 15-year-old. Take that, fan.
It's a pleasure. You're very, very lovely people with warm hearts, and it's nice to have it reciprocated both ways. I wouldn't be here if I genuinely didn't feel as though this was a two-way street of some sort. But there's a lot of people out there, and like I say, I can't be friends with everybody as much as I'd like to be.
Yeah.
It's I'm not very good at. I'm getting better at socializing, but I'm not very good at. I don't know. I'm not very good at letting so many people in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't got a lot of social juice for relationships, but I like this, and I like how it is. It's really cool, and I am here because you two have meant a lot to me over the years. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
Thank you. Oh my God! Wow.
So there you go.
Can you believe it? 2 hours talking to Robbie. Just never expected that.
It was just an incredible conversation. Completely open, honest Rob.
As he always is.
The Rob that we all know and love. Just a wonderful, wonderful conversation. And we got deep in a couple of places.
Yeah.
We had a bit of fun, obviously, as you saw. The World Cup went down pretty well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The Christmas Present being his favourite album.
Yeah, I was surprised at that.
Yeah. Makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
He gave all the reasons why, and makes absolute sense.
I think it helps that we were recording this at Christmas time, so he'd just been listening to it.
Yeah, they'd just been decorating the Christmas tree with that playing in the background. So what a wonderful interview. And just thank you, Rob. from the bottom of our hearts. It really means a lot for you to share that time with us, and just give us new insights actually, and answer some of the questions which we know were really important for fans.
Yeah.
So
thanks for joining us, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and you can find us on social media at Rewind Robbie on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. We share a lot of news and photos and videos. Lucy's always working very hard at sharing lots and lots of stuff on the socials. So please support us and join us and follow us there. And we may well share videos from this interview at a later date. But we'll be going out. You'll probably listen to this in audio form to begin with. Because we want to make sure that the podcast does well, and then we will share some videos from this interview later on, so stay tuned for that. And as we said before, make sure you take a listen to all of our back catalogue of interviews.
You could be there a while.
You could be there a while. And also subscribe, because we have got some incredible special guests coming up in 2023. People that I've worked with Rob and collaborated with Rob, maybe one or two from the band. Won't reveal too much right now, but we've got some cool people coming up, so stay tuned.
Yeah. Okay.
And thanks for listening.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, bye. Don't forget, you can check out our episode notes for each episode and links to all tracks and videos at RobbieWilliamsRewind.com. You can also email us at email@RobbieWilliamsRewind.com. You might also consider sending us one of your own Robbie stories for the show. Just record a short audio clip on your phone and email it to us. Please check the website for more details.
Robbie Williams Rewind.